Oh my god. What up, guys? I know it's been forever. Okay, I'm sorry. I know. I freaking know. This took way too long. I know, guys. I'm finally back. I'm sorry it took so long. This is Paradox. I'm here with another AskAParadox. I don't even know what edition it is, but I'm just happy to be able to talk to you guys again. So yeah, we're back, man. Another edition of AskAParadox. I'm gonna answer your questions related to dance, or maybe something else just related to me, whatever. Let's start building again. Thank you guys so much for the messages. You've been sending me a lot of messages about the AskAParadoxes, about you wanting to have new ones, about how much they've helped you. I'm really happy to be able to do this, so I just want to make sure that we continue this, and we're gonna make sure that this becomes a regular thing. Side note, I'm gonna make the videos a little bit shorter because I noticed that it was just too long for people to actually watch, and because of that, the information becomes too much for your head, for your brain. So 2 questions instead of 3, but that way we can make sure that the information comes across and you guys can really understand what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is from Mylene Bennett. This is what she asked. Kevin, one of the most inspirational dancers that knows his stuff. Thank you. I also have a question. My weakest point in dance is groundwork. How do I train my groundwork? I find myself stuck when I try to do groundwork, but I know how important it is to have groundwork, as groundwork completes your dance more. Do you have any suggestions on how I can improve and train on this specific topic? Okay, Melanie, thank you so much for your question. So the first thing that I want to say about this topic is that you don't need anything to be a good dancer. And what I mean by that is that you can be a good dancer with anything. Meaning there's people who have limits and are, for instance, not able to go to the ground, or are not able to do whatever, use their arms, I don't care, something. And because of those limits, they were able to create a specialty. Because if I don't have no arms, I'm gonna focus on my legs, right? If I'm not able to be able to go to the ground, I'm just gonna focus on what I can do standing up. And because of this, some people became specialists and became really good in what they did. And because of them, the rest of the world got inspired. Think about it like this. If someone would focus on just waves, just doing waves, that's the only thing he would focus on. If he would have 10 years of just waving, after those 10 years, he would get to a point where his information and his skill in waving would be so deep that people would get inspired by this. And now they could see how far waving could go and bring it to their own dance. Which means the level of waves all over the world becomes higher just because of that one person who was able to go through those 10 years of struggle with one thing. So, I'm not saying, no, you don't have to do groundwork. I'm just saying, it's not about what you think that is needed to become a better dancer and become complete, because a complete dancer is not someone who can do everything. A complete dancer is who is fulfilled with his own movement and fulfilled with what he's doing by himself or herself. So it's just about what you want, like, what is your interest, and what you feel and think that will be nice for yourself. And if that's groundwork, then let's get into it. So groundwork for me was also kind of a hard thing. I wasn't good at it. I didn't feel comfortable on the floor. And that's a very important part, to be able to feel comfortable on the floor. And the only way to actually do that is starting to get connected with the floor, starting to feel the floor, starting to touch the floor. Outside of just wanting to first dance right away and trying to do moves on the floor, you want to, connect to it, feel it. Am I free enough to put my hands on there, or maybe the other part of my hands? Can I lay my face on the floor? You want to not be afraid of the floor anymore. If you're afraid of the floor, you're actually going to see it in your movement when you're on the floor. So you first want to create a good connection with the floor, outside of dancing, outside of whatever, we first learn to crawl, then we learn to walk, then we learn to run, jump, dance. Okay, it was somewhere. For some people, they learn to dance before they learn to jump, whatever. So for the floor, it's kind of the same process. You want to first learn to crawl, want to learn how to walk, want to learn how to run, how to jump and dance on the floor. Not literally, but the same concept, the same idea. Like in martial arts, when you have a certain weapon, they say that this weapon is an extension of yourself. And that's kind of the same emotion or the same relationship that you want to create with the floor. You want to not see it as this space of, this uncovered space that you don't know what to do with. You want to see it as an extension of yourself. And this is not a physical thing, of course, this is a mental thing, but the mentality creates the movement. Okay, anything that we do with dance comes from here first. The emotion, I know, it's right here, but we have to understand the emotion to be able to express it. So this mentality thing right here is super important for the floor. You can't be scared to, I don't know, stay longer than 5 seconds on the floor. Because if it took you 10 years to become good at dancing, it's gonna take you 10 years, not really, but that's figure of speech. It's gonna take you a lot of years to become really good on the floor as well. You have to approach it the same way. So the first thing that I want to tell you is don't be scared and see the floor as an extension of yourself. Merge with it, be one with it, and try to just be free. Don't judge yourself by the movement that you're doing on the floor. Just feel. Now, of course, it's really hard to create something on the floor without any information, without any basics, without any movement that you have that you can do on the floor. So the first thing that I taught myself when it comes to dancing on the floor was very simple. Everything that I do standing up, I want to be able to do it on the floor as well. So any basic step that I learned, any basic movement, anything, even if it was a two-step or it was like a, I don't know, a basic Bart Simpson, I don't know, whatever, I would do it on the floor as well and try to find a way for me to do it on the floor and make it look good and feel good. So what you could do is film yourself when you dance, take movements that you like from your dance and try to actually develop a way of doing them on the floor. That way you get information that you can use on the floor, and when you have information, you have a starting point. Now you can start moving from there and build out information on the floor, build out a foundation, you could say, for yourself. And the second one is create basics on the floor for yourself. Use what you have up for down and try to build it out there. My third advice is take inspiration from everything. So in every dance style, there is a whole ground section developed. There is movement for groundwork in every style. So what you can do is you can actually ask around. You can search. So even if you search on the internet for certain, I don't know, for certain styles, and you see movement that happens on the floor, you can practice this movement and see whatever you like. And whatever style of movement that you like and think that is interesting, you can implement in your own dance. Meaning it becomes bigger than just a hip hop groundwork or just b-boying, which is the same, but I'm talking about hip hop freestyle and b-boying. Or I don't know, Vogue, locking, whacking, house. They all have a different groundwork type. They relate to each other in some ways, but understanding every approach or different approaches helps you to find what you like and what feels natural to your body and what fits to your body, you know? And with that, you're able to find a way to express yourself on the floor better. My last advice is to take inspiration from things outside of dance. So I myself started using, for instance, yoga or Kung Fu, and I would use the same positions that I do in yoga for dance, and I would try to figure out a way to move inside of these positions. First, it started real simple. I took a few positions and I moved from the one position to the other, to the other, to the other. And then I would do it to music. First do it slow, every 4 counts, then every 2 counts, then every 1 count. And I would try and see what would happen. It was a real fun thing to do, and it's really, really interesting to see your body move in a completely different way than you're used to. And this helped me to develop a different relationship with the floor, because now it was not only a relationship of music and floor and body, but it was also a relationship of stretching, a relationship of poses, of power, of strength, whatever. There's so many different ways of relating your body to the floor, and it's just a really interesting journey you can take. So this is my advice: don't be afraid of the floor. Merge and try to stay longer than 5 seconds. See it as an extension of yourself. Take anything that you do up and try to do it down. Create basics for yourself. Create a floor foundation of your own moves. So try to have fun with it and try not to judge yourself with every step that you take. If we would judge a baby by the way it can walk before it even started crawling, it would never get to walk, you know? So don't judge yourself for starting a new journey in your life, and try to really take it like a baby, which sounds really funny, but what I mean with that is be curious and don't care about what anyone thinks or what anyone says, even yourself, and just explore and experiment with your body and see where you can go. Hopefully this helps you. I wish you the best of luck. It's a fun journey that you can take, so have a lot of fun, and thank you so much for your question. I hope it helped. Okay, so the next question is by Mukul Kumar 1, and this is what he asked. Hi Kevin, so you've inspired me a lot because of your growth in dance in a short time. So my question is about how I can make sure that I'm doing my own thing. I look at many dancers And when I dance, I feel and picture myself to be like you and other famous dancers. I've started to dance for like 2.5 years, so I kind of absorb a lot of what you guys are doing. Is there a way for me to work on it and to find myself? Because when I dance, a lot of people say, hey, you look like Paradox, and I want to do my own thing. I work really hard for it, so please help me, sir. Thank you so much for all your AskAParadox series. Love and peace. Okay, Mukul, thank you for the question, man. So, it's normal. It's very normal that you start off looking like other dancers. It's not always the case, but it does happen with people that they look like other dancers. And this is because when you get inspired, you need a base foundation of movement that you start off with. And if you get inspired by certain people, you're gonna take the base of those movements. You have to get movement from somewhere. So it's normal that it can happen that you take certain movement types from different people. The important thing is that you start to ask yourself 2 questions. Why and what? And this means, what do I like about this dancer? And why do I like it? And when you start asking yourself that, you strip off the dancer itself and you start to focus on what kind of movement you like inside of that dancer. What is it exactly that I like about this? Is it the groove that this person is doing? Is it a certain technique that is inside of his body? Or is it him expressing himself? And do I want to have that as well? Do I feel connect to that, and do I feel a resemblance in myself, me wanting to express that as well? And when you start doing that, you start to ask questions that help you to find yourself more, to find the reasons behind things that you like. When you find the reasons behind it, you're able to use these things, but create something else with it. So if, for instance, you look at me and you're like, yo, those threads are dope. Threading is this. You have a loop and a needle and you thread back. That's a thread, right? Maybe you like this movement, you're like, yo, that's sick. Oh, then if you understand that you like this movement, you're able to create it in a completely different way. You're able to tell yourself, okay, I'll put it here. Maybe I can shove it down and then put it back here. No. Maybe I can create a loop in the air and then shove it in there and then bring it down. You know, there's many ways you can look at it. Maybe it's a certain emotion that you enjoy. For instance, I'm inspired by tie-dyes, and the way he expresses his movement really inspires me because I can connect to it. It has a certain, I don't know, superhero feel to it, where you dance and you stop and you're able to look, I don't know, in the sky and I don't know, it's just, that really inspires me. And I don't take the exact same movement that he does at all, not even close, but I take the emotion and the feeling that I can connect with and create and generate that same vibe in my own dance. So just start asking yourself why and what. Why do I like this, and what are the things that I like? And from that you're gonna develop a way of doing it yourself and finding a different way of doing the same thing. But also it's important is focus. Okay, your body will follow your focus. If you focus that way, your body has to go that way. If you focus that way, your body has to go that way. If you focus that way and your body tries to go that way, something is gonna go wrong, you know. And what you should focus on is yourself. Focus on what you want and where you want to go. What you like and what you think that is interesting, okay? Instead of focusing on what other people tell you. Because if you're gonna focus on what people that don't have anything to do with you tell you, you lose focus for yourself. And when you lose focus for yourself, you're not in control and you're not able to create and generate whatever you want to generate. And when you have this, when your focus is gone, what's going to happen is the movements that come to your mind are the movements that you have seen before, so that's what I'm going to express. But if you focus, even though you've seen a movement, you can still focus on expressing it inside of your body in a completely different way. How would I feel this movement? How would I express this myself? And then you get something new. Don't focus on what people think of your movement and what they think is dope. Focus on what you think is dope and what you feel is interesting for you. What you feel that is nice and what story you want to tell, that's the story you want to tell. Not the story that people want to hear, but the story you want to show. You shouldn't care about what people think of you anyway, okay? If they were not there when you were born and they will not be there when you die, who cares about what they say in the middle? Because they're not there for you anyway. Now, of course, if it's your friends that say this, that's okay. Just make sure that you understand the difference between words that build you up and words that break you off. If it's words that break you off, there's no use. I mean, words that build you up can hurt, but they will develop you. and you have to feel the difference. Are they telling me this because they want to help me and want me to grow? Then these people are good for me and they can actually help me to get to a different place. Or are these words that are breaking me off? And when that happens, don't listen to it, let it go, because it will not help you any further anyway. People measure things by what they know. So that means if they see a wave and someone else did that wave before them, they're gonna think back to that person. Maybe he started that wave, but they're gonna think back to him and relate it to this person, okay? So in that sense, it's really a blurry field that you don't really want to focus on. Like, it's something I never cared about, it's something you should never care about people looking like each other, blah, 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 blah. As long as you focus on your own path, you'll find your own way, and that's really important. Now, if you purposely take people's moves and keep using them, that's a problem, because then you're not yourself and you're not expressing who you are, and you're not contributing something new to the scene. And that's sad, that's really horrible. So you don't want to do that. So this is the thing, man. There's nothing you can do physically to really work on creating your own thing. It's not a physical thing, it's a mental and an emotional thing, actually, okay? The way you talk is not because of physical things, right? It's because of your mentality, and it's because of what you feel. And the way you feel, that's how you're gonna speak. Dance is the same thing. They say dance is like talking. Well, the way you feel, the way you think, you wanna try to express that with your body as well. So it's more here than here. You can't practice a move 1,000 times and then think that the style of the movement or the feeling, emotion of the movement is gonna change. It won't. The important thing that I did to find myself was this. Any class that I took, anything that I learned, I always ask myself one thing. How would I do this? How would I do this? How would I make this into something that I think is interesting? What would it look like if my body would do this movement? In what way would I, I can keep going and going and going. Because you see, the unique thing about us as people is not our movement. We have 2 arms, we have 2 legs. We all have the same body, It's our approach to the movement. It's how we get there and how we see it. Only you can feel a certain way or connect certain ideas together that we don't see. And that's the thing. Creativity is more about seeing the connections that other people don't see, right? If you can connect, a certain groove to a certain concept in a different way, most of us won't see it in that way because we don't see those connections. And that can create something completely new for you and for us as well. So finding yourself and finding your own way of dancing, your own moves, your own whatever, is not about practicing movement, but about a mentality. Now, of course, there's also physical factors that will help you to develop your own movement. I mean, your body type is completely different from mine. Maybe you're more flexible than I am, or maybe you're stronger than I am, and that can help you to also develop a complete different thing. If strength is your thing, then maybe you can develop movements that are based on strength or on flexibility. There's billions of possibilities. Also know that you've been dancing for 2.5 years. I've been dancing for 16 years now. So it takes time. It takes time. Patience is really important. You need to have patience. You first have to get a lot of stuff inside of your body. Your coordination has to become better. You have to become more connected with the music. Maybe you need a little bit more strength, a little bit more flexibility. There's so many things that still can happen inside of your body. Don't have to, can happen. So be patient and try to focus on the journey and not on the destination too much, because the destination can break your journey. And just have fun. Just have fun. Make sure that whatever you do, you like it. If you don't like it, don't do it. Don't try to do stuff because you want to become different. That you're different by yourself by default, okay? You don't have to do anything to be different because you're yourself. Just be yourself and you'll be different enough, okay? So that's my advice. I hope it helped. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Thanks everyone for all the messages and whatever. It's amazing how we can communicate with each other and how it can help people to, understand dance a little bit better, or maybe find themselves a little bit more. As long as I'm able to bring 5 people one step closer to whatever they want to achieve, then this video is worth it, And I'm just really thankful that you guys give me the time to talk to you guys and inspire you, and with you guys talking back to me, inspiring me as well. Both ways, yin yang. So thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, it's all peace and love, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.